Maybe. All right, so very recently, within the past couple of weeks, the Zone SS has released. I have not had a chance to really throw this, but a couple of times. Not 100% sure. Obviously, it's like a beat up zone. That's kind of what everyone is saying, but I really want to compare, I guess in contrast, the different stabilities in zone types. Obviously, we have the stock zone. This has been a go-to for years and years and years in everyone's bag. Nice, stable approach disc, overstable approach disc. We have the Zone OS that came out within the last couple of years, I believe. This is just really, really overstable. Chop anhyzer. You almost can't put it on enough anhyzer. It's gonna fight out. And then again, as of recently, within the last couple of weeks, we have the Zone SS. This is probably one of the most highly anticipated discs for a while. This thing is what a lot of people want. They buy a zone to beat it up so it flies straight and still has that stability at the end. So we're gonna put it to the test today. We're gonna play 9 holes here at Greystone Valley. Very short, kind of pitch and putt style, a lot of ace runs, so hopefully we can ring one up. I think I'm just gonna do like CTP challenge, throw all 3 off each tee and probably just putt from the closest. All right, so I've modified hole 1 a little bit. Hole 1 is actually probably a couple hundred feet that way. So like a 400-foot par 3, I believe, but it just doesn't make sense to throw these, especially the Zone OS, from all the way up there because you're not gonna get anything out of that. So I moved up. We're actually like just off of hole 18's basket. So we're probably looking at 200, you know, at the very most, maybe 220. We're gonna throw, it's probably gonna be a lot of forehands today, honestly, but we're gonna go forehand and probably just start with the most overstable and work our way down to the Zone SS. I mean, yeah, low glide, we're actually probably sitting at 180, I'm guessing, off that throw. But low glide, I threw that low and probably nose down on a good bit of anhyzer, and by the time it hit the ground, it was already back on that hyzer angle. So, pretty interesting there. Go in. Ooh, oh, that's short. Dang, I mean, that's just stock zone right there. Hopefully, I'm not really getting out of the way of these. Hopefully you can see this. I'm gonna try to hit this Zone SS flat. It's a little bit of tailwind, so I'm assuming it'll still be stable, but I'm gonna try to hit it flat. All right. I mean, that was pretty much dead straight. There was maybe a couple feet left or right movement the whole flight, but that is really straight. I'm very interested to see how much that disc is gonna flip up if I hit it pretty hard on some hyzer, especially on that forehand. So I'm kind of excited for that one, actually. All right, I really wasn't anticipating the Zone OS winning CTP on any of these holes, but here we are. All right, hole 2, we've got 240 playing up the hill, so it's gonna play a touch longer. Plus we have like head right to left, so it's gonna be tough. I still think I am gonna go with forehand. I really don't think I can throw the Zone OS backhand. It's way too overstable, plus the anhyzer angle is just something I'm not good at. So we're gonna try to go forehand up the hill, see what happens. Based on what this does, will be my decision whether I go backhand or forehand with those two. Ow. All right, that one slipped out. Well, that doesn't make me feel super good, so we're just gonna go ahead and throw backhands. Get over that rock. Or in front. All right, so that's about what I expected. Headwind with the zone. It was pretty straight. When it started slowing, that's when it had the stability. I'm assuming this is either going to turn quite a bit, or it's just gonna be dead straight, kind of like hole 1. It was, get off that rock. A little short, but that was in fact dead straight. All right. I mean, so far everything is flying as advertised. So pretty good, you know, judgment so far on it. The Zone OS is just one of those, it's so deep and so blunt, just doesn't feel great in the hands, especially when you're trying to throw it hard. If you're doing little chip forehands with it or something, whatever, but when you're actually trying to kind of throw it for distance a little bit, that's when it gets weird. All right, this one should be interesting. We're looking at 340 feet playing down the hill. Plays down to the right, so it is gonna be forehands. However, I don't think the Zone SS stands a chance there. I'm not gonna try to throw this too hard. Just gonna make sure it's high on anhyzer and try to give it that full flight. The other two, I'm gonna see if I can maybe get down there because it is downhill, but not a lot of wind either, so we'll see what happens here. Yeah, I mean, that's better. That's still not good though. Sit. Yeah, all right. Let's almost just like get that one out of the way so I can throw ones that I can actually use. I kind of threw that on anhyzer. That's the zone. I mean, but yeah. A little short, decent flight though. All right, zone SS, I'm gonna try to keep on hyzer because it is a little bit of a headwind and just see if it's gonna flip up. Oh, flip up turn and some ride. Interesting. Went pretty far, but yeah, okay. Now it is headwind, so you do have to remember that. But that did kind of hold a lot more than I thought. Granted, I don't know how much hyzer I put on that zone SS, but pretty interesting. The zone flew about how I thought. I threw it on a little more anhyzer flatter than I wanted to, so I expected that turn and fade, but with the headwind, that was still relatively straight. So I guess that makes sense actually, that with the headwind, the zone was pretty straight left to right. So that, I mean, that's, you know, that zone SS just holding over to the left. I mean, I guess that makes sense actually. All right, the zone SS technically went further distance-wise, however, the zone is still CTP. Get down. Ah. All right, we've got another little ace run here. I think it's like 160, 180 feet, something like that. For me, you can go hyzer forehand out the back, but that's kind of boring. So I'm gonna go anhyzer forehands for all of these down the middle gap. Hopefully leave nothing short. I wanna give everything like a fair chance at going in. Oh my gosh. All right, I like that shot. I think if I could throw that same shot with the zone, it should hold. Keep turning. Okay, I'm just losing it now. I think if I throw that shot with the zone SS, it should be decent. Oh, get up. Finally committed to the line and then threw it into the ground. All right, this one's gonna be interesting. We're looking at about 250 here. I genuinely don't think I can throw the zone OS that far. We're gonna try, but I do not feel confident in this one. The fact that that came back in frame, no, way short. That was not good. Get up. All right, that one should be under the basket. I want to throw the zone SS pretty flat and hope that it just kind of pushes straight the whole way. Ah, I pulled it. I got to do that again. Oh, higher though. Get up. I think it's going to get over the tall grass. That was fine. Higher, I think that's sitting right next to the zone. The zone was under the basket, so I don't hate that. It definitely is like noticeably straighter. I think -1, 2 on the turn and fade is pretty accurate for it. But yeah, I like it right now. I don't know if I would have a use for it, honestly. All right, this is a pretty interesting hole. It's only, again, like 160 or so, but you're playing down the hill with a low ceiling, so it's tough to, like, as far as ace run goes, you kind of need to skip in. But basically, if you play this tree, not this one right here on the left, but the one right in the middle, if you play it just underneath that, that's kind of the line. I'm gonna throw, obviously, all three. My goal is to just try to throw the shot with the disc that will ace this hole. Skip. Oh, it like barely grazed the basket. It's also kind of tough to get out of the way. I'll make sure I get out of the way here. Maybe. I got it. Come on, let's go. I just smacked that thing in there. Oh my gosh. All right, twice or it's luck here with the zone SS. Oh no. If that kicked and fell, I would have went and got it, but that actually went kind of a long ways. All right, well that is, in the past month, I think that is my 4th ace. Granted, have they all been one shot? No. I don't care. I am a firm believer. You know, some people don't count it when they ace if it's not the first shot. I do not care about any of that. If I throw it off the tee and it goes into the basket in one shot, even though it is not my first shot, ace. All right, you love to see this. Unfortunately, it is my dad's zone, so that's tough. It's mine now. All right, I'll tell you what, it's tough to do anything after you ace because now it's just like, that's all I want to do. So we're looking at like 200-ish, kind of playing slightly uphill and really not anything about it. We're giving this runs now. That's the point of this video now, is try to get another ace. Oh gosh, and then that's what happens. You try to ace and then it's just bad. All right, back to back. Let's just throw a good shot now. Calm down. That might do it. Ooh, that went really far. All right, that line, softer with the Zone SS, could do it. Man, yeah, okay. I feel like I barely threw that one dead straight. All right, I actually went super deep with everything. The zone that I thought was gonna go in is like circle 2 deep in the basket. So we'll settle for this 20-footer here. Okay, I know you can't see it from that angle, but that went through the middle chains, hit the pole, and came out the side. That's unfortunate right there. All right, this whole same exact distance as the last one, just a little more open, at least for the forehand. Zone OS here, I really haven't thrown this good, but maybe a couple times so far, so I'd love to just, don't have to ace, but just like throw a good shot with it. And good tree. All right, threw one good shot with it. Skip. All right, 2 good shots. Zone SS, I need it more hyzer because this thing is actually really straight. Yeah, that's it. Definitely straighter. All right, I think we're gonna call it after this one because I am hot and thirsty and I've aced today, so I feel pretty good. We're gonna go forehands on all of these, slight headwind. Something to note for these disc flights. Zone OS, I'm gonna try to get it all down there. It's probably like 250, 260. It's gonna be a good pump, especially in the headwind, but we'll see what happens here. I feel like the harder, it's in the short stuff at least, the harder you throw the Zone OS, the more overstable it gets. Yeah. That's pretty nice, actually. All right, Zone OS is gonna have to be a bunch of hyzer. Learn from, I think it was like hole 3 or something, but I'm gonna go ahead and more hyzer, but play it on this right side. So if it does turn, it's kind of going back towards the basket. Oh, see, that time I should have went, oh my gosh, that went so far. Holy cow. Okay, that was smacked. All right, couple things to note. The Zone OS is a ridiculous disc. I will never bag something like that ever, but if you do, good on you. I know Jacob does. Zone SS, at least on that last shot, I threw it probably 80 deep of the basket. It was obviously way right of the basket, but it was so far, it was almost out of bounds long. So smacked it, which is awesome, but that is all I got for you. The Zone OS, hot new disc, super fun. I'm gonna bag it for a bit, see if I can get some more reps with it, but we have a lot in stock at ozarkmountaindisc.com. So if you want one, head over there, go check it out. But that is all I got for you today. Like, comment, subscribe. Ozark Mountain Disc to the moon.